right, it's May 13th, 2025, and I guess this is going to be like the pre-diabetes, diabetes talk. I have got my blood sugars definitely up a lot better, more than what I want them to be. I want to take you guys on the journey of what I'm going to do to get my blood sugars down. I am going to go. I've actually contacted my doctor to see if they'll let me do a A1C. I just did one about 2 months ago, I think, and I want to see exactly where I'm at. Last one was at 6.0. So this is self-induced too, guys. I have been recklessly raising my blood sugars. Not recklessly, I haven't been eating sugar and shit like that, but I have had some wine. I've been eating extra proteins and, you know, playing around, doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't do, but on a more healthier level, not like some serious candies and ice creams and shit like that, like just some high carb treats here and there. And I wanted to see if I get myself up to pre-diabetes, and it looks like I did. So what am I doing? I want to take you guys through the journey. This is a perfect opportunity for me, not only to figure out where my A1C, how high it is, see if we can get it above 6.0. It depends who you listen to. You know, if you're at like 5.7 to 6.4, there's people saying you're pre-diabetic, right? And the numbers are all over the place. Also, your blood sugars. How do I know? Because I got my continuous glucose monitor. I'm going to show you my blood sugars for all day yesterday and into this morning. Using a continuous glucose monitor, monitors my blood sugars every 5 minutes, gives me an increment, so I know what's going on 24/7 with my body. That's how I'm in fully control. But yeah, reason why I'm coming out too is that my blood sugars have been above 100. They fluctuate from above, like about 105, 110, down to like 90 to the 80s milligrams per deciliters when I'm sleeping. I think I woke up this morning, we'll take a look at that, somewhere in the low to mid 90s. And that's a good sign, right? That's a sign that you're in remission or that you're in pre-diabetes mode, because again, depending on who you listen to, optimal glucose readings, especially if you're using a glucose monitor like I am, optimal for someone who isn't diabetic is like 70 to 90 all night and before you even eat, right? So fasting, so after dinner, your blood sugars, you know, depending on what you eat, for a normal average Joe, according to the American Diabetes Association, their blood sugars will go up to about 140 milligrams per deciliter, and then it should go down, you know, while you're sleeping at nighttime. Should be somewhere in, you know, below 90 to 70s is like perfect, optimal. Now there are suggestions from CGM, continuous glucose monitor manufacturers, who have actually tested out people without type 2 diabetes, and it's kind of normal to be around, you know, just above, or I'm sorry, below 100. So the numbers are all over the place, guys. I know it's probably confusing, but we're going to straighten that out. I'm going to take you guys with me every fucking day, and we're going to monitor how exactly I'm going to get my blood sugars down. Now I'm pretty competitive, and I want to see if I can get mine down to like levels like someone who isn't diabetic, as I've done it before. I actually had an A1C of 5.3, and I'm driving in the complete wrong direction. Oh, when you film, oh my God, yeah, I'm driving in the wrong direction, guys. That's all right. I'm here with you. But yeah, I've had my A1C down to 5.3, and I've managed to get it up to 5.6, I think it was, on my last. I'm going to share all my details with you guys, including my labs, all my blood work. But as far as the blood sugars go, yeah, I'm at 6.0 last time. We're going to see if my doctor grants me to be able to get my A1C checked again. I don't see why they shouldn't. Very important, if you guys are managing type 2 diabetes, to get that continuous glucose monitor, and also work with your doctor to get the blood labs and your A1C checked regularly to find out where your progress is at. Now the cool thing about having a continuous glucose monitor, I already know that I'm pretty much into pre-diabetes for sure. I might even be dipping into diabetes again. So this is an experiment that I don't want to take any further, but I accomplished what I wanted to, was to get them up high. So what am I doing? You know, I got a meal here right now. This is shredded beef with eggs, about 2 tablespoons of butter. It's probably about, I would say, a half a pound, maybe 3/4 pound of shredded beef, and about 4 eggs, some garlic, a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper. That's pretty much it. Now I mess around with different styles of breakfasts and things like that. This is low carb. The approach I'm going is kind of carnivore-ish. I consider myself paleo because I eat some fruits and vegetables on occasion. But now that I've got myself up very, very high, I'm going to stop with the fruits, and I'll do some low glycemic vegetables, but pretty much zero fruits. That's one thing I'm eliminating out of my diet completely from here on in. But I'm on a kick here. We're gonna try a couple different things with intermittent fasting. What I'm doing is I'm doing I don't even know what to call it. It's something new. It hasn't been new. It's been around in Ayurveda for many, many years from India. This is one by a fellow by the name of Sadhguru, was saying that he can heal a lot of different people, get them optimal health no matter what diseases they're in. I don't know if that's 100% or what, but it kind of makes sense to me that he says you want to empty the body for 8 hours, the stomach sac, right? So meaning, like for me, I'm about 15 minutes away from 9 a.m. today on this beautiful Tuesday. And I'm going to eat at 9 a.m. and then I won't eat until 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. dinner. And I'm going to do this for a week straight, and we're going to keep an eye on what the blood sugars are going to do. Again, with the continuous glucose monitor, it's going to show us everything. So you guys get an insight into exactly what's going on in my body. And I want to practice with a couple different variations of like 8, doing this, let's just call it the India fasting. And then we're going to do 24-hour fasting, which I've already done a video on. Also, we'll try doing maybe even a 3-day fast, like 72 hours, no food. I don't know how I feel about that one. Cortisol, the stress hormones in the body sometimes start to kick in, and it actually can raise your blood sugars. So there's a lot of details that go into intermittent fasting, reversing type 2 diabetes, and I don't want to overcrowd you guys with too much information. But right now, let's just stick to the 8-hour India, let's call it the Ayurveda 8-hour fasting, and we'll see where it goes from there. Now, I'm sure you guys probably have lots of questions and stuff, but ask me. There's in the show notes, the description, there's an email. You can email me. There's even a place where you can book a call with me if you so choose to, and just ask me, any kind of questions you want. So, now moving forward, zero fruit. Also, I think I should mention I'm going to do as much cardio as possible, meaning some light walks. I got some notifications. I forgot to put my airplane mode. I'm doing 30-minute walks, as many as I can per day. I try to squeeze one in the morning. If I'm home, I'll do one at noon, and I'll do one at evening or after dinner. So that's about an hour and a half per day. But I'm a roofing contractor by trade too. A lot of you guys, I think, who are diabetic might be in the construction industry. I don't know, but the majority of you, I think, for sure, are going to be the ones living sedentary lives where you're sitting at a computer all day, right? And you're not really getting much movement. So, yeah, for me, like today, I didn't do my walk on this May 13th, but I'm going to work a lot on my farm and over on my roofing construction on the job I've got today. So I'm going to be spending a lot of energy, so I decided to skip my walk. But regularly, that's the exercise routine. So to recap, at least 30 minutes of brisk walking, 30 minutes, to the point where you can still have a conversation if you're getting out of breath and you can't talk normally. Blood beats per minute, BPM for your heart rate, about 120, right, per minute is what you kind of want. Do that at least once a day. If you can, do it twice. If you want, do it 3 times a day. That's optimal, especially if you're living a sedentary life. But another thing you guys can do is squats, like body weight squats. Like just get down on your squat down and just do about 30 squats. Do this as many times a day as you can. The muscles in your legs are really large, and a lot of you guys don't know, that's where sugar, it's like a sponge for sugar, right? The more muscle you have, the more mass it has to disperse the sugar in your body. Well, when you use your leg muscles, you're probably going to burn science says, some testing, that you're going to burn more than just doing a walk. So that's kind of a little tip you got there. You know, if you're at work, instead of going for a walk and getting all sweaty, you know, especially if you're in an office job, just go to your car and just stand next to your car and do a couple of squats, like body weight. You don't need any weights on your shoulders or anything like that. But yeah, definitely exercise. 0 fruit, 0 simple carbs, anything that converts to sugar, right? You can't get 100% away from the carbs, right? There's still some certain amount of carbs in eggs and very minute levels, right? But all this stuff is still going to give you a little bit of an insulin spike, but nothing like if you'd eat a donut or, let's say, a potato, definitely some chips, bread, pasta, all beans, all of that shit's gone. And I said low glycemic food, so that means no beans, nothing with high carbohydrates, very, very low. I'm going as low as possible. Again, this is not medical advice, guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, hardly any carbs, mostly meats, maybe some vegetables, and yeah, we'll go from there. And the only other thing I can think of is try to get enough sleep, right? Try to get at least 7 hours of sleep. I've been fucking myself up by not sleeping very well. Also, make sure you stay hydrated. I keep a mason jar in my vehicle at all times with water. Stay hydrated. Make sure you intake some salt. There's a lot to this, man. But that's the fundamentals, basically. I think I've capped it up, and I've always over-explained things, I think. So, yeah, exercise, I've named it. No more fruit, no sugar, no carbs, and intermittent fasting of the Ayurveda 8 hours. We'll try that for a week and see how that works, and then we'll bump it up. Maybe we'll return back to my 16-hour fast to 8-hour eating window, and then maybe we'll bump it up to 18/6. Maybe we'll bump it up to 24. We'll see. But as we progress with this, guys, stay tuned, subscribe, follow, and help me get to 50 subscribers, guys. I just need, like 35 subscribers, I think, or something like that. So I can get to 50 and I can actually go live and I can answer questions. So we'll be back and I'll show you my blood sugar on my monitor. All right, guys, so here's my daily blood sugars for today. I'm gonna run you guys through. I woke up this morning at around 5:30. It looks like I was at, I'm gonna say, let's go to 5:30, about 94 milligrams per deciliter. I'm thinking I was a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna say by these two lines here, about 98. But overnight, you guys can see it was actually not too bad. Let's go in through today's though. This is overnight. Now 102, I'm not too happy with that. If you guys are wondering what optimal blood sugars are, they should be around anywhere from, somebody without type 2 diabetes should be around 70 to 80, mid 80s, definitely like below 90, I think is optimal. You can see here, this is the optimal glucose range right here. And I like to stay on this lower half, and I'm spiking, not too terribly bad, but it is getting better because of my dietary changes here that I've made. But I'm still not in the clear, my friends. And basically what I've done here is, you guys are going to watch me through the journey. You guys want to follow this because I've self-induced myself to the point where I'm borderline diabetic here. And I did this purposely to show you guys what I'm going to do, and in real time too, of how I'm going to lower these blood sugars. So this is the continuous glucose monitor I always show you guys. This is the interface to it. And there's no place to hide here. There's nobody on the internet doing what I'm doing. And I really want to show you guys and take you guys on my journey so that you guys know it's possible to reverse type 2 diabetes. Like, there's nobody else doing what I'm doing, my friends. This is basically a story of a journey that you guys are seeing live here of someone who's got high blood sugars and how they're actually going to lower them. In fact, I'm going to check my emails here tonight to see if my doctor responded to me. We're going to go get an A1C and a blood test to figure out where all my vitals are at, especially my A1C, because last time I checked it was 6.0. So I moved from 5.3, guys, of an A1C of 5.3 all the way to 5.6 or 7, I think it was in the last one. I'm going to share all those details with you. I'm sorry, that wasn't the last one. That was the one before the last. But my last one was 6.0. That's pre-diabetes. So I want to take you guys on my journey, and this is what it looks like. So every day after I eat, it's starting to spike. And this morning I had shredded beef, about a half a pound with 4 eggs and 2 tablespoons of butter, salt, and pepper, and that's pretty much it. But every time I eat, my blood sugars spike. As you guys can see here, it took a little while for this one, and it's above 120 and stayed that way for quite a bit of time, for at least 2 hours here before it started to come down. And I'm doing a 8-hour fasting. This is an Ayurvedic way. I can't even pronounce the name, but it's basically where you eat a meal and wait 8 hours before you eat the next meal. So all I'm having is breakfast at 9 a.m. and then dinner at 5. And let me take you guys into what's happened here. During the day, I didn't have much of a physical activity day, not a whole bunch, just a little bit. If you guys know, I'm a roofing contractor, so I expend a lot of energy and I burn a lot of calories working, but I didn't have too big of a day here. This next week is going to be a little bit heavier. Maybe we'll see some better results, but I am pairing this with 30-minute walks every single day, at least once a day. And as you guys can see here is right when I ate dinner, and I was 102. Blood sugar actually started to climb before dinner, as if my body was anticipating it. But for dinner, I had a homemade Alfredo sauce that I made out of heavy whipped cream, some butter, some cottage cheese, and a few seasonings, and made it myself so it doesn't have all those chemicals in it. I also had a protein-packed, zero sugar chocolate donut that's got about probably, I don't know, about 6 grams of protein. And my blood sugar has spiked up. I've never had the protein donuts or the protein shakes that I make do this to me to this extent, especially this later in the day. But as you guys can see, it spiked me again to close to 130. And as this evening's progressing here, this was a walk, by the way. I went for a 30-minute walk and it dropped it down from 129 all the way down to 103. And you can see it just rebounded right back. So this is telling me that my body's full of sugar and I've got to do something about it. You guys can notice I'm only time in range. I'm only 93%. Usually I'm at 100%. If you follow me from the past. So let me take you guys back and show you, as you can see the progression. Let's take you guys back about 3 days, and I want to show you what I mean of how bad things have become. And so this is when I changed my sensor out, and I showed you guys this before on the last video, but I kind of want to bring it back home here. I did wake up about 89, but what it's telling me though is my blood sugars were a lot higher. So I'm going to say that, you know, this looks like almost like a dip here, a compression dip. I'm going to say I was anywhere from about 99 to 100 to probably about 101. But as you can see, blood sugars just started spiking and rising. And this was what happened here, is I actually calibrated my sensor with a finger prick, a glucometer. And I did it like several times here. So as soon as I made that correction, I thought I was high at 110. It actually corrected and brought me to 139, just under 140 milligrams per deciliter. I did this a couple of times just to see what was going on with to make sure it was right. I calibrated again because my blood sugars went down here after about 2 hours. And that's why you see the sharp sweep here. I also did another one here just to make sure that we're on track and that the data is correct. So yeah, after I ate breakfast, it started to go down. This is a compression dip. I think I was driving. I must have had my elbow on the door, on the window sill of my car, and I was kind of pressing on it for a while. But as you guys can see, I'm just really, really high. Again, this is 8 hours later after breakfast. I ate myself a meal here of, let's see what it was, a ribeye steak and some shrimp, some grilled shrimp. And this is low carb, guys. And for some reason, my body's just responding all weird. Look at this. For hours, it stayed up above 120. And as soon as I went to bed, I actually did my walk yesterday too. Blood sugars came down. This is a large compression dip here. I was probably laying on my side, obviously, and it just perked right back up. Things are just getting so wonky, you can see with my blood sugars. But it did start to come down a little bit. It's still up way above the range that I want it to be. This is pre-diabetes, at least. I think I'm getting pretty close to being full-fledged diabetic here. We will know, once I get my blood work done. But I woke up that morning, I think this was yesterday, at about 92. So that's a lot better. Can you guys see the progression of the blood sugars? Not so bad. Again, as I woke up, blood sugar started to rise. I ate my breakfast at around 9:30. I kind of screwed up. It was 9 o'clock when I ate. I just happened to log it down a little bit later here. But as you guys can see, we're still up in the 30s, not near the 140s though. And same as the other day, everything started to come down after I ate. And a lot less time up in the higher range here, mind you. So yeah, this was yesterday, I believe. Let's get down to when I woke up, which was 5:30, and I was about 96. And as you guys can see, we didn't really have a huge spike here. This is a lemon water, sparkling lemon water that I drank first thing in the morning. And as you guys can see, it didn't really have much of an effect. In fact, I think it might have helped to lower my blood sugars. I did a 30-minute morning walk here. We went from 102 to 80. I think I had a LaCroix or something here in between as well. But yeah, as soon as I stopped my walk, blood sugars raised again. And then going to work here, started to come down to some normal levels and a spike. So everything's just all wonky. This is late at night while I was sleeping. Let's just go through here. You can see large high levels. This is last night, I believe. And let's take it to where I woke up at 5:30, and I already showed you guys this here, where we're at now. This is the day. I just wanted to show you guys after I ate breakfast this morning. Look at a lot less of that spike. A lot less. It's getting better and better. I'm intermittent fasting. I've quit all fruit. I've quit all simple carbs. Actually, I don't really eat too much simple carbs, but even complex carbs, as much as I can, not eating hardly anything. And as you guys can see, as the day progressed, we had way better results today. Way better results. It's getting better and better until when I ate dinner, until right now, which we're at 124. I'm not happy with this here. So guys, follow along, because this is what it looks like to reverse type 2 diabetes. Follow me, and I'm going to show you every single day. I know so many people, there's a sugar fad diet saying coming out right now where you live off sugar, which sounds completely absurd, but I'm open to the idea. I just, the problem is nobody's showing their blood work like I am. I'm open to any diet, even veganism or whatnot, but I want to see somebody showing me what I'm showing you guys. That way I could become a believer. Give you guys some perspective. I follow a guy named Alex Hormozy, and he says, why should people even listen to you? Why should people even follow you? Have you done anything of significance to help people, right? Something of significance that you've achieved. And to me, this is my Alex Hormozy achieval moment. This is my moment to show you guys in real time what's going on with those blood sugars and exactly how I'm going to lower them. So I'm going to try and go live every day at noon if you guys want to follow on my lunch break. Also, I will be posting these videos regularly to keep you guys posted on how exactly this diet's going. Now I'm going to do this 8-hour in between fasting period, like I showed you here, this Ayurvedic India way. By next week, we may even do a 72-hour fast. I don't know. I might even start off with just a couple days in a row where I do a 24-hour fast, just to see how far we can get these blood sugars down. And guys, follow along, subscribe, and comment. I'm sure you guys have questions. And if you join the live, you guys can ask me questions right there on the spot. Also, check out the description below. There's a way to get a hold of me and all kinds of other goodies there. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.